your girl Samantha Drees, and I'm back with another one. Y'all, it's been a minute. You already know it's been a minute. But let me tell you, it's been a time, and not necessarily a good one. So, um, nothing too drastic, but I do go in and out of inspiration. Like I be all in y'all face, and then I don't want to be around anybody. So, and I was just making sense of things because um, I'm here to empower. I'm here to like give these messages, but also, um, you know, who's I can be strong for so many people, right? But who gonna be strong for me, So I was just going through a phase where it was just like I wanted to listen, I didn't want to speak. You know what I mean? Even with my tarot readings, like a lot of it was me like not even want to look at my own energy because I didn't want to deal with that shit. But also just like when I did want to read, I wanted to read for myself. You know what I mean? So, you know, really definitely going with the ebbs and flows of things and just dealing with my own seasons and like, acknowledging them and accepting them for what they are. A lot of times we pride ourselves and we validate ourselves by what we have to offer, how much work we do, how much money we make when um, it isn't necessarily about that. You know what I mean? You can't, you a machine. Sometimes you need a motherfucking tune up. Sometimes you need to sit the fuck down. Sometimes you need to rest. You know what I mean? So just honoring that with ourselves. But I've been getting hella downloads. So I'm also trying to get out of being unmotivated. So I feel like I was kind of asking my spirit team, just like I was kind of complaining in my head about how like I've been feeling blocked, like I'm not getting messages. But I can't say that when honestly, like I feel like I love to speak to people in person. I feel like I can channel on here, but when I'm sitting next to you, like anybody that know me, I start preaching, and I used to feel bad about this when I was younger, when I like wasn't as enlightened. You know what I mean? And just like I don't know. I know people didn't want to hear that shit, but really it was like your spirit team. This was God speaking through me. I'm a vessel. You know what I mean? I'm a messenger, and I've accepted that about myself. You know what I mean? So like, that's also why I like to read for people in person and stuff like that. I like to like have those convos, and I think I need to have this conversation with y'all too because I'm kind of in a rebranding phase right now. I'm trying to see like what the fuck. Um, I thought I knew what I wanted to do, but now I'm like, do I really want to do this? You know what I mean? Now that I've actually started doing it. So, um, there's a lot going on, but we in this motherfucker, man. Hey. Um, hello to anybody that's watching. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you for being present. But yeah, I had these downloads today, and I started to write them down, and I started hey, boo. I started writing them down. And then as I was writing them down, I realized, well, I got a nudge to actually to deliver them from the bottom to the top because I was kind of writing them down from like the most recent to the last. So we're gonna get into it though. I was listening to one of my prophets this morning. It could be Mogul because I just found Boo recently. Mogul, if you do not subscribe to her page, to her channel, please do. She definitely will keep you on your toes. I look at myself as a mogul in the making, so seeing her pop up on my timeline and like I like the title, I'm like, let me see what's up with this. And I do, now that I'm like on YouTube a lot as a viewer, I do believe that if you're in the tarot community or if you're in the spiritual community, certain people pop up on your timelines for like at certain phases of your life when you really need them. You know what I mean? So like Boo has definitely been helping me like get a spark back and get that fire up in my ass and like, just trying to like put myself out there. And I talked to a really good friend. Shout out to Lika Stella, that's my gulla. That's bestie right there. Gave me a little pep talk yesterday and just like, cause it's hard for me to be vulnerable. It's hard for me to ask for help or to like really express like where I'm at with things because people some people just they rise to that. You know what I mean? They don't have nothing to fuck to offer, no good advice, but just want to hear that you are confused about something, want to hear that you're down about something. Like, and it's not even really a down. It's like I'm at a crossroads. I'm kind of in a fork in the road. Like, what do I really want to do? You know what I mean? I'm in my mid-30s, and I remember being in my mid-20s, making this 5-year plan, what I want to do by 30. You know what I mean? and I've accomplished a lot of it. But now that I'm in, I've even started doing things after that that I didn't even think I was gonna be doing. It's life. Discovering yourself and just seeing what as we grow. So do our desires. So do our goals. You know what I mean? And I try like not to be. I noticed that I would accomplish a goal and then move the finish line. And I don't want to keep doing that. Keep myself on this on this with the hamster wheel. You know what I mean? But I am the type of person, I have so many things I want to do. You know what I mean? So, but that's neither here nor there. The downloads, though, that I was getting. The first one actually was, I was listening. I don't know who it was. Like, that's where I got to what I was just saying. Y'all, I talk in circles sometimes, but don't mind me. But somebody was talking about having, like, the weight on your shoulders and carrying a lot and being hyper independent. And to the point where people will see that you take on all these things. And the person was made an example of a lover. You know what I mean? Having love interest and having relationships where you're carrying both loads. You know what I mean? Or this person sees that you have a lot on your plate and sees that you're independent and will know that you're independent, see that you have a lot on your plate and still won't help you. You know what I mean? And as I was listening to this, I started visualizing, and this was the download. You know how you like when you're hiking or you're on a trail and like how everybody that passes you, they smile, you know what I mean? Say, I don't know if y'all do that, but, hey, um, thank you. So yeah, when you're on a trail and people, or if you're hiking, you know what I mean? Like there's always people that are going, past you, or yeah, they were passing you, probably going back the other way that you just came, and they always smile and wave, And I was looking at it, I got the download of this being you, but you're hiking, you know what I mean? And everybody that's passing you and smiling are people that you know. These are loved ones. This could be a romantic interest. This could be friends. You know what I mean? Only you got this heavy ass backpack on. You're carrying a lot of shit. You are carrying a lot. And these people see that you got it though. You know what I mean? You're not really, it's like, dang, she got, but still not helping. You know what I mean? And shit. And some of these people, they see that you got all these things on your back and you carrying it and it looks effortless. You know what I mean? So people acknowledge your strength so much that they won't even help you. You know what I mean? And like you're so interdependent that you're not even going to ask for this help. You know? And I'm just thinking about how like people do that, and like these people, they see you got all these things on your shoulders and you hiking up this hill and they ain't even carrying shit. They barely got a water bottle. You feel me? But you got everything. You got water, you got Band-Aids, you feel me? You got telescope, you got motherfucking binoculars, you feel me? You got heat pads, like whatever the fuck, And these people, some people are envious at the fact that you even got all this shit. And low-key want you to drop some of it. You know what I mean? You carrying all these things effortlessly. You hiking up this fucking hill. And people are smiling and admiring it. But let you drop one motherfucking thing. Let you drop your canteen. See, I told you I told you she couldn't do it. I bet he ain't do it. I bet he ain't gonna do it. I hope he won't do it. That was a Friday reference if y'all, you feel me, if y'all not that tapped in with the culture. But yeah, like these people will see that you have a lot, that you're carrying a lot, that you got all this strength. Some people admire it, still don't, they, oh, she got it. What do I need to ask her for? She's doing great. You know what I mean? And there's some people that's mad that you can even do it. You know what I mean? But just imagine this being your other half, or what you consider to be your other half, the love of your life. And this motherfucker won't even help you. What the fuck are the muscles for, bruh? What, I'm supposed to respect you as this alpha being, but you're letting me carry the load? I don't know who needs to hear this. You know what I mean? I'm just dropping like just different scenarios for whoever's in, in this collective that can relate. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was just getting that. And when I was listening to this message that gave me the download, the message in it was that you have that coming. You actually, with all you've been purging, all that you've been walking away from, you are putting yourself on that path to run into those people that are willing to help you. You know what I mean? That would love to help you. You know what I mean? Like some of that shit that you was carrying wasn't even yours. You know what I mean? Some of that shit wasn't even yours, and yet here you are, you know. So it's putting yourself on that path to where you find your tribe, like the people that really do support you, that see that you got a lot going on, and like, yeah, maybe they ain't going, maybe it's also a lesson in you learning how to say I need help. You know what I mean? Maybe the people from your past made you feel uncomfortable with saying that because they always judge you because you needed help. Like, nigga, I'm human. I am literally a human fucking being. Like, what the? We all need help. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. But the download after that though, right? So I'm going from the bottom to the top. So I kind of remember them, but I still gotta keep my little journal. But it was going to being fed up and locking in. You know what I mean? And that could bleed off of to like the main download, just getting tired of the same old, getting tired of being the one that's being strong for everybody, but everybody really really preying on your downfall. Like some people admire you so much that they hate you, which is really crazy. That's why you really got to protect your energy. You know what I mean? Protect your fucking peace, because you could be sleeping with the enemy. You could be having drinks with the enemy. You know what I mean? You could be taking a hike with the enemy, which is dangerous, I might add. You know what I mean? Like, you in the middle of the fucking forest. What y'all about? Yo, I always say, if you try to go hiking with me and it's kind of iffy, our relationship, like, if you want to kill me, just do it right here. Because you don't got to take me all the way out to the woods, Nah, but, yeah, so just being so fed up with the bullshit, fed up with the fakeness, fed up with the competition, the silent competition, the jabs, you know what I mean? The subs, you know what I mean? Like all that shit, just tired of all that shit and just sticking to yourself and locking in. You know what I mean? And in this time, once you did that, once you separated yourself, you might have felt super fucking drained, super unmotivated, super just anti, and what was happening in that process was more so you being in a cocoon, you recalibrating, you rethinking things. Okay, now that I cut this situation off, now that I cut off this habit, now that I left this job, now that I left this community, now that I stopped doing this, I stopped doing that, you kind of feel a little empty. It's like, okay, what do I do with my hands? I don't know. I don't get it, some of you, it could have been just like being frustrated and just like angry at people. You know what I mean? Just like fuck everybody. You could have been in a huge fuck everybody stage, which I get wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? And sorry, because we're getting somewhere, but that led to you being completely drained, like I said. And I remember in May and June, a lot of people not complaining, but reflecting a lot of communities that I see, a lot of posts that I see, spiritual posts, how tired we were during those times, just like physically tired, just sleepy, unmotivated, just like I remember through like the last couple of moon cycles, people saying how like tired they were around the full moon. You know what I mean? And the last download was about breakthroughs happening in real time. And that made me think of everybody being tired in May and June. And as a mama, it made me reflect on, because like as an adult, when I'm tired, I think I'm sick. I think something's wrong with me. But my toddler, he's 3. Every time he's sleeping a lot, it's because he's going through a growth spurt. And I appreciate that. It's like, well, he's been asleep for over 5 hours, but I'm going to let him. If he ain't, he don't got a fever, let that boy sleep. Boy, mom knows stuff. These 3-year-olds ain't nothing nice. But yeah, so every time since he's been alive, I noticed that when he's going through a major growth spurt, he sleeps a lot. And or when he's sick. But that's the body repairing itself. You know what I mean? So let's cut back into what I was saying with the download and just having that in the last couple months of just being tired all the time and being drained and like not having the motivation. How are you feeling now? Are you feeling excited? Do you feel it? Like I'm seeing blessings happening in breakthroughs and blessings happening currently. I'm feeling this flush of energy, this flush of getting things done, feeling a weight lifted off of my back the more I accomplish things. And now I want to rebrand, and now I want to look more into the future for myself, but like diving into what the fuck I want, you know? Like, what do I really want? Like, we're starting to see everything is possible. If you're on this journey, you're seeing the more you lock in, the more you have faith, the more you are obedient, the more things are starting to turn in your favor. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's making you like, at least if I heard speak for myself, it's like, okay, what else? Like, okay, a lot of past manifestations have came to fruition, but I've changed since then. I'm changing at a rapid rate. If we all part of this collective, if we're all part of this rising, then the change is coming at a rapid rate. These seasons are coming at a rapid rate. You are going through the ebbs and flows. Like, it's just feeling up and down and up and down and up and down. And shout out to Queen Cup, who I actually follow on Patreon, because her content is that vital. Her content has literally changed my life for the better. You know what I mean? Shout out to Des. I love you, girl. Love you, love you, love you. Angel gang, gang, gang. She was talking about how we were always talking about this ascension process, but we don't talk about the descension. So, and how she used a mountain reference on how when you are climbing up a mountain, you ascend, you descend, you ascend. But instead of focusing on the descension, understand that you're still moving. And then once you ascend again, and even once you descend after that and start to ascend again, you're going to see you haven't been stagnant this whole time. You're a lot farther than where you were. You have to go through the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, the highs and lows, in order to, to reach your peak, So I'm really like grateful for everybody. I'm really happy for everybody. I'm really like rooting for everybody in their journey, you know what I mean? Because I feel like this is a very fruitful season, Let's not look too far in the future, trying to worry about when it's going to stop or whatever the fuck the case may be. Just like understand and just smell the flowers, look up at the sky, admire the clouds, you know what I mean? Enjoy the weather, because there's a lot to be grateful for. And celebrating the small wins is just as important as celebrating the big wins. It's just as important, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm not at 100K subscribers yet, but if I make 1 or 2 this month, I'm juiced, nigga. I just checked Dreezy and T like, oh, we have 58 subscribers. Hey, what's happening, family? What's going on? But yeah, I guess that's what I want to say about that. I was gonna pull a card or two, but I'm just gonna save that for another video, which I'm probably gonna do after I tap in with my kid. He's been kind of quiet. I know I just started letting him use the tablet, so now he's on YouTube. I don't really care for the shit that he watches on YouTube, but it's his entertainment, not mine, as long as it's not inappropriate. What can I say, right? But yeah, thank you for everybody that, said what's up on the live. Anybody that's still tuned in, if this message resonated with you, or, definitely like, comment, subscribe. And I'm going to leave it at that, though. It's your girl, Barbie Drees. The hostess of spirituality, leading all these bitches to the promised land, myself included. And I'll catch you on the next one. Let me see.